Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents G.I. Joe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the G.I. Joe Classified Series retro-carded Cobra Trooper. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And here at the very top, if I can get a hold of the thing. Beep. Oops, mic's in the way. Beep. There we go. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that don't belong there. Ages 4 and up. Assortment numbers if you need that information. G.I. Joe, Cobra Trooper, Cobra Enemy. And then here we have a nice big blister showcasing the figure and his accessories, and it's, you know, on all sides there. Then on this side of the card we have nice, super retro artwork. Very, very similar to the original, except for, like, you know, the details on the soldier. And that classic Hasbro logo. On the back, because there are no sides, top or bottom, G.I. Joe, with all the red, white, and blue striping. Cobra Trooper, it's classified, but if you want to read what we do know about the guy, you can pause it right here and read to your heart's content. And then continuing on, same artwork here that's on the front. Cobra, of course, and then here's the cross sale. Retro Cobra Commander, Retro Stalker, and this figure, Retro Cobra Trooper. Symbols I'm not gonna learn. ParentsGIJoe.com. Attention! Especially don't stick things in your French pie hole. Warning, attention, Octung, don't stick things in any other language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to the babies. Small, fine, legalese made in China print. Symbols I'm not gonna learn. And a barcode. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers, in case we need them to take a look at some of the smaller accessories. And I guess that's what we'll just start out and do. So first up, he comes with this knife, and I'm pretty sure we've seen this in the line before. Nice silver paint app on the blade, and I do believe the whole thing's molded in black plastic, and it's rather thick, as you can see here. So there's that piece. Next up, let's take a look at his rifle, and it's a long-range rifle, not necessarily a sniper rifle, I wouldn't think. And we may or may not have seen this in the line before. I don't recall seeing it before, but that doesn't mean that we haven't. So I do think it's very, you know, it does have a very much realistic style to it. I like the scope. It's not removable. Nothing, well, I say nothing. The magazine is removable, so there is that. But it's very nice piece. It does have a port in the end of the barrel there, you can see, for blast effects. And just a very cool piece. Next up, we have the suppressor. And this is a piece we've seen before. I think the first time was with Sergeant Stalker. Again, it has a port on the end of it for blast effects, and on the other end it does have a peg to go in the pistol. At least that's the part that it's made for. And speaking of the pistol, let's take a look at it. Again, this is a piece we have seen before. And again, I want to say it was with Sergeant Stalker. I know it came with Stalker, or at least I'm pretty sure it did. But it could have been on a figure before that. Same with the suppressor as well. So nice molded details in it, all molded in black plastic. And again, it does have a port on the end of it, and it's for the suppressor or for blast effect. You don't have to put the suppressor in it, but if you want to, it just ports in like that, and that looks pretty cool. At least all these diagonal lines line up, so that's neat. And then the last weapon we have, and again, we've seen this before, and you can see mine's a little warped there, but nice little piece. I think the Valkyries maybe were the first Cobra troopers to come with this piece, but it does have nice molded detail, all molded in black plastic, and again, a port at the end of the barrel for blast effects, and the magazine is removable, so that's a neat little piece too. And here we have his helmet. We've seen this helmet ever since the Cobra Island Cobra Troopers, and it's still a bit two-tone. Like in here is a little bit darker blue than the rest of the helmet. Nice molded details in it. I mean, it's Cobra Trooper bucket. I don't know what else to tell you about it. And again, another piece that we've seen. Oh, there I go, bumping the camera. Reused throughout the retro classified line is the stand. Nice Cobra emblem pressed into it, and then two pegs for his feet. There's a little place here. I guess you could get some stickers to put names on them if you wanted to. Made of a nice glossy black plastic. Very reminiscent of the 25th anniversary stands, which those did have the names on them. But it's not a big deal that it doesn't have the name on it, at least to me. And speaking of reuse, let's take a look at this guy, because I don't think there is one single new piece on him. This piece may be new to Cobra Troopers, but we've seen it before. Same with the knife sheath and the suspenders, I guess. And they're still, you know, really loose. And this is the Cobra Island Cobra Trooper or Cobra Infantry body. This piece, you know, same piece that came with that Cobra Island Trooper. The only thing that's really different about this is this guy seems to be a Caucasian. The other guys are of a darker complexion, not black, but, you know, maybe Middle Eastern or Hispanic. But this guy is clearly Caucasian. Blonde eyebrows, blue eyes. Are they blue eyes? No, they're not blue eyes. They're not blue eyes. So there's that. And, you know, I mean, it's printed very nicely, and I think this is it's a homage to, again, to that original figure, because those dudes looked Caucasian and not of any other ethnicity in the Real American Hero line. So, you know, nice molded details throughout here. Pinned. And just all kinds of wrinkles and stuff in the uniform. And if you have any of the Cobra Troopers, Cobra Infantry, you know, anything off of this mold, yeah, you're familiar with this. And if you're a G.I. Joe collector and you've been in this line for a while, you're more than likely familiar with this. Couple of paint apps here on the harness, at the belt buckle, nothing on the back. Nice red paint app for the Cobra logo. We've got some maybe tampos right there on this armband. And other than that, that's it. Let's take a look at his articulation. And he's on a ball and joint. A ball and joint, yeah. Ball and hinge. There at the base of the skull, or base of the head. He can look up that far. He can look down that far. The neck is a separate piece with a ball joint at the bottom. He's got chicken neck. He's got waggle in the head and in the neck. He can do the full exorcist, although you have to be careful with that because the head, not the head, the neck likes to travel with the head. So at the shoulders, butterfly joints back that far, forward that far. Arm raises up a little less than 90 degrees, 360 degrees of rotation there. Cut at the upper bicep, 360 degrees of rotation there. Double hinged, let's get this up a little bit. Double hinged pinned elbow, and it gives you that much bend. This gets in the way a little bit, but let's see what he's got over here. So not much better on the other side. So you get that much bend out of that. Cut here and at the mid torso, gives him some hula there. Just extra. Oh, it's not. It's a hinge. Durr. I should know this, as many of these guys I've covered. And then at the waist, it's on a half dumbbell or a ball joint, whatever you want to call it. And he, in conjunction with those two hinges, he can lean back that far. And he can lean forward that far, but his harness really does not stay in place there. So, but at the waist, he does have all kinds of hula. He does have a 360 degree rotation. He can lean left, he can lean right. And we've already talked about forwards and back. Pull down hinge at the hips. So it pulls down that far. And with that engaged, he can give you that much of the splits. He can kick forward approximately 90 degrees. Backwards, almost a full step. Cut at the upper thigh for a full 360 degrees of rotation. Double hinged pinned knee. And it gives you that much bend. At the mid shin, there is a boot cut. And it gives you a 360 degree rotation there. And then at the ankles, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and forward facing pin for rocker. Now, as far as the accessories go, the pistol, you put it back into two pieces. Pistol goes in the holster. This strap here in the front of the holster is for the suppressor. It does not like to go in there. I'm not gonna lie. It will. You do have to force it. And I'm gonna do that off screen so I don't turn anything up. Alright, so there's that in position. The knife goes in the sheath over on this side. Make sure you turn the blade the correct way because it does not like to go all the way in there. So you do get it about that far and just give it a little push and it still sticks up a little bit, so not great there. As far as the guns go, get them in the hand, give them a twist to get in there. And I don't think I talked about the wrist. So 360 degrees at the wrist, and it's on up and down hinge. And the other side is an up and down hinge as well. So, oops, I missed that. So, just twist that in there to get the finger in the trigger guard. So there's that. The other gun, I mean, you don't have to give him both of these guns at one time, but nevertheless, I'm gonna do it. So there we go with that. And then of course, how the stand works, he's got 2 ports in the bottom of his feet. The 2 pegs on the stand line up with that. Give it a good mash. And then the helmet, just kind of push it down on his head. And there you have it, my friends. There's a look at the figure and... That's not centered. There, that's better. And his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series retro carded Cobra Trooper with the Target exclusive G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Island Cobra Trooper and the mainline release of G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Infantry. Here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series retro carded Cobra Trooper with the Valaverse Action Force Special Deployment Series Swarm Sentry and the Valaverse Action Force Swarm Scarab. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series retro carded Cobra Trooper with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance Stan the Man Lee from G.I. Joe Classified Series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander from Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the G.I. Joe Classified Series retro carded Cobra Trooper, I have to say, I really wish they would either retool the arms and legs for this mold, if they're going to continue using it, or start using parts from the Cobra Officer. If those arms and legs and head even, well, I think it is the Cobra Officer head there. But, you know, if those limbs will work with this torso, that's really all they have to do. Is just stop using these arms and legs, use the officer arms and legs. But obviously that's not the case of what's going to happen. So there is that. Now I do like, you know, there's some, I don't hate this guy because of that. You know, I just wish that it was different so that it would fit a little better with the rest of the line. So, as far as this guy's accessories go, they're the appropriate accessories. I'm glad to see we did get a new piece with this, which is his rifle. At least I don't remember having seen that before. I could be wrong. Submachine gun, the pistol, the knife, the suspenders. You know, that's stuff we've all seen before. The armband, we've seen that before. Not necessarily in these colors. But, you know, if wishes were horses and all that jazz. So I do like the accessories. Overall, you know, I like the colors on this guy. I think it's a nice update, accessory wise at least, to this figure. They're using the right head on it for this release. And again, I just wish they would have, you know, figured out a way. Maybe if they just retool the officer's torso and then use that for Cobra Troopers. I don't know which one would be the most cost-effective way to do it. I guess Hasbro's decided the most cost-effective way to do it is just to keep using, you know, this Cobra Island Cobra Trooper mold over and over and over ad nauseum. But, you know, I can't complain too much because I keep buying it over and over and over and over. But, yeah, I guess I can complain. And it's not that this is a bad guy. Well, he is a bad guy. But it's not that it's a bad figure. It's just, you know, with the rest of the line now looking the way that it does, this is, you know, this mold is a bit outdated. And it needs to be updated. So, the things I do like about it, it looks like they did use the officer's head. The accessories are really good, except for you can see the suspenders kind of ride up. You do have to mess around with them after you get him posed. And hopefully not mess your pose up in order to get those to look right. Maybe if you had a backpack to pin in, that would help a lot. I don't know. But overall, again, it's not a bad figure. It's just a little outdated. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.